Imagine giving everything you do your all each and every day when you get up, whether it's your own projects, your work, or your relationships. To feel as though your efforts are in vain. It feels like you're yelling at the top of your lungs, yet nobody is responding. Many people fight this silent war in an effort to gain acceptance and value for themselves. The need to be appreciated for who we are, rather than merely what we accomplish, is a universal need that cuts across social class, age, and occupation. Let us now take a trip back more than 2 millennia to the time of ancient Greece and Rome, where the Stoic philosophers Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus discussed similar issues of self-worth, purpose, and meaning. Even with society and technology evolving over time, the fundamental challenges we face as humans have not altered. In addition to philosophical ideas, Stoicism provides a useful toolkit for overcoming the challenges of day-to-day living. These antiquated techniques, refined over centuries of observation and contemplation, are remarkably applicable to the problems of the modern world. As we consider the ageless teachings of Stoicism, we reach a critical juncture, one that forces us to consider the fundamental basis of our value. Do our character, deeds, and reactions to life's challenges truly determine our worth, or do outward accolades and accomplishments? The 9 Stoic tactics we're going to discuss here offer actionable advice, as well as techniques to transform your fleeting sense of worth into something deeper and more meaningful. Changing the narrative is the goal of the road ahead if you have ever felt underappreciated or disregarded. This is about applying practical, tangible advice to alter your life, not only about Stoicism. So get ready, whether you're new to us or have been here before. Growing, developing resilience, and embracing timeless wisdom are the goals of this voyage. Are you prepared to discover how? Join us as we uncover the keys to being appreciated for who you really are, rather than just being seen. 1. Give your time worth. Let's talk about something that we all own but frequently throw away carelessly. Our time. The alarm clock sounds each morning, signaling the beginning of a new day. It's simple to press the snooze button, turn over, and let important minutes pass you by. Saying to ourselves, "I'll do it tomorrow," we frequently find ourselves putting off not just chores, but also our goals and desires. This routine postponement not only robs us of time, but it also erodes our potential and sense of value. The fundamental issue at hand is appreciating time as our most valuable resource, rather than merely managing it. We all struggle with the delusion of endless time. We live our lives as though they are boundless, delaying the important things for someday, which regrettably seldom occurs. Seneca once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Life is long enough, and a sufficiently generous amount has been given to us for the highest achievements if it were all well invested." The resolution lies in adopting a Stoic approach to time management, acknowledging each moment as a non-renewable resource, and acting with purpose and urgency. This conflict between knowing time is finite and acting as if it were infinite leads to a life filled with regrets and what-ifs. Imagine the significant change in your life that will occur if you begin each day with a purpose, eliminating distractions from your goals and focusing on what really important. By treating your time with respect, you send a strong message to people about the importance of your life, your objectives, and your contributions. This kind of thinking makes you feel better about yourself and encourages people around you to think about how they spend their own time. Considering Seneca's advice, ask yourself, what can I do today to maximize the time I've been given? Make every day a living example of your worth and legacy by letting this question direct your actions and choices. The next tactic might hold the secret to revealing a more profound sense of worth at an unexpected location. 2. Prioritize taking care of yourself. Consider this. You are at your wit's end, your schedule jam-packed with chores that you detest and that are designed to satisfy the demands and desires of others rather than your own. You have to work from sunrise to sunset. It feels as though you are a smartphone that is always on and rapidly running out of battery life. For many of us, this situation is not just familiar, it's our reality, which leaves us feeling exhausted, unappreciated, and occasionally invisible. This is a deeply conflicted situation. It's the internal conflict we have between the need to put others' needs ahead of our own, which is frequently neglected. Many people misjudge this delicate balancing task, which tips the scales in favor of burnout rather than peace. The philosopher King Marcus Aurelius famously said, "He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe." This remark captures the essence of our predicament and serves as a reminder that taking care of oneself is the first step in living a fulfilling life. Adopting this Stoic idea entails realizing that taking care of oneself is not selfish, rather, it is imperative. We prepare ourselves to contribute to others more efficiently and authentically when we make sure our own cups are full. This change in viewpoint is about improving our ability to make a positive impact on the world around us, not only about protecting ourselves. How, therefore, can we begin prioritizing ourselves in a way that increases our value to ourselves and those with whom we come into contact? Think about this and the tiny, regular self-care activities that you may do to live a more honorable and balanced life. Are you wondering how to improve your sense of value by building on this self-care foundation? Our next approach is jam-packed with clever twists and turns. 3. Say less and listen more. Have you ever been in a discussion and, instead of paying attention to what the other person is saying, been impatiently waiting for your moment to speak? In our fast-paced society, where the need to be heard has overtaken the skill of listening, this situation is all too familiar. In this environment, talks frequently resemble contests, and the person who speaks the loudest is thought to be in charge. The conflict we face is how to balance our need for self-expression with our ability to wait patiently for others to speak. In a culture that values outgoing behavior and promptness, listening's subtle yet effective power is frequently overlooked. Because we are socialized to think that the importance of our words in a conversation determines our worth, many people struggle with the anxiety that their lack of speech would be seen as stupidity or disinterest. Epictetus is credited with saying, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This straightforward but wise advice inspires us to practice the Stoic virtue of listening, which not only enables us to comprehend others fully, but also enables us to consider our own ideas and opinions. Speaking less and listening more gives us the chance to develop, learn, and connect with others on a deeper level. Relationships become richer and more meaningful when we adopt the habit of listening more often than speaking. It's about making an environment where everyone feels heard and appreciated by valuing their ideas just as much as our own. So how can we build a more respected and fulfilling life in our daily lives by applying this Stoic strategy? Take note of the impact it creates by beginning your next discussion with complete attention and active listening. 4. Always be authentic. Imagine yourself at a crossroads in your life, having to decide between making your own way and going with the flow. It's like being at the edge of a forest. The well-traveled way is obvious and appealing, but there's a part of you that is drawn to the unmarked track because it seems to hold the possibility of an experience that is special to you. The age-old conundrum at hand is authenticity versus conformity. It's the psychological struggle between being accepted and being different, between voicing your mind and keeping it quiet to please other people. Everyone has experienced the urge to change into the person they believe the world wants them to be, frequently at the expense of who they really are. The fear of rejection and the warmth of acceptance are at odds with one another. Lucius Annaeus Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, once remarked, "If you wish to be loved, love." This straightforward but deep quote captures the essence of our battle. It implies that presenting our true selves to the world, rather than altering who we are to fit in, is the key to being respected and liked. We draw the kind of attention and respect that stems from a sincere connection and reciprocal respect when we stay true to who we are. Therefore, how can we accept who we truly are in a society that seems to value conformity? Little bravery gestures like us selecting individuality over homogeneity, honesty over pleasure, and passion over apathy are the first steps towards this goal. We start to be respected for who we really are, not simply for the person we pretend to be during these times when we choose authenticity. Think about this. In what areas of your life are you lowering your standards in order to meet the expectations of others? How can you build a more respected and fulfilling life in your daily life by applying this Stoic strategy? Never forget that having the guts to be who you are is the first step towards self-empowerment. 5. Allow people to assist you. Have you ever felt that you need to climb a mountain by yourself because of how much work you have on your plate? It feels like you're at the base of a massive mountain, loaded down with equipment, and looking up at the incline that lies ahead. Though you're adamant, you have doubts about your ability to succeed on your own. Here's where we get into the life-changing potential of accepting assistance from others. Not only is there a mountain in front of us, but sometimes the obstacle is the idea that asking for assistance is a sign of weakness. Admitting that we need help feels like admitting defeat, yet it's a war waged in the quiet of our pride. Our society frequently exalts the self-made hero, giving the impression that success is the result of one person's hard work. However, this way of thinking ignores the power that comes from community and cooperation. Quoted by Marcus Aurelius, "Men exist for the sake of one another. Teach them then, or bear with them." This realization challenges us to reevaluate our isolated battles. Aurelius tells us that far than being a weakness, our interconnectedness is a power. Taking assistance doesn't mean giving up our freedom. Rather, it means realizing that when we work as a team, we are stronger, more capable, and able to achieve greater heights than we ever could have on our own. Accepting the help of others allows us to see the beauty of human connection, as well as fresh viewpoints and common qualities. So how can we build a more respected and fulfilling life in our daily lives by applying this Stoic strategy? Maybe all it takes is one small step, making contact. Let's push ourselves to create a supportive community by lending a hand to those in need, asking for advice, or sharing your own talents. What additional Stoic tactic, in your opinion, awaits us as we consider the strength of unity in our ability to be respected not only as individuals, but also as components of a larger whole? 6. Maintain your composure. It frequently feels like a rare achievement for a select few to navigate life's storms with elegance and composure. However, as we approach the 6th lesson, we are going to tackle a tactic that is both difficult and helpful: maintaining composure. Every day is full of challenges, ranging from the pressure of meeting deadlines to the uncertainty of interpersonal relationships. It's not only a defiance to remain calm in the midst of these chaos, it's an art. It's a global war, this one inside, where pressure and stress try to destroy our inner calm. We are tempted to snap or give in to stress as our emotions run high and the pressure increases. In addition to trying our resolve, this psychological tug-of-war frequently leaves us feeling exhausted and underappreciated by both ourselves and people around us. Our guiding principle is the wise words of another Stoic philosopher, Seneca, who observed, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." Seneca's words serve as a helpful reminder that we may maintain our composure by pausing, taking a deep breath, and thinking things through before reacting. The area between stimulus and response is where we discover our worth, our dignity, and eventually our strength. By developing the skill of maintaining our composure under pressure, we can not only weather life's storms more easily, but also win the respect and admiration of people around us. How then do we practice this Stoic composure when things get hectic? It begins with simple, everyday routines like breathing deeply before reacting to provocation, pausing to collect our thoughts, and addressing every circumstance with the attitude that every obstacle is a chance to show our poise. Think about the times when remaining composed could turn a quarrel into an opportunity for personal development. How can you build a more respected and fulfilling life in your daily life by applying this Stoic strategy? The trip doesn't finish here, though. 7. Keep some things private. Number 7. Today, we'll explore a topic that's sometimes disregarded, yet is essential to developing values and self-respect: the skill of keeping private. Choosing what to reveal and what to hold dear is a difficult decision in a time when disclosing every detail of our life is expected and feels normal. The boundaries between our personal and public lives have become more hazy due to the constant barrage of updates, pictures, and check-ins. We now have to strike a careful balance between being transparent and maintaining our privacy. The internal conflict arises from our urge to safeguard our inner selves versus our yearning to connect and be noticed. This problem is made more difficult in a time when there is constant pressure to share too much, which can leave us vulnerable at times when our private lives are too visible, endangering our tranquility and personal space. Epictetus once said, "Be silent for the most part, or if you speak, say only what is necessary and in a few words." This quote gently points us in the direction of the Stoic method of selective sharing, acknowledging that some experiences, ideas, and emotions are more valuable when kept close to the body. By keeping some parts of our lives private, we foster a sense of self-respect that is valued by people around us, in addition to safeguarding our inner calm. So how can we apply this technique to improve our authenticity and worth in our lives? Setting boundaries that respect our comfort zones and engaging in introspection are the first steps. Think about the parts of your life that you would prefer to keep private or only share with a few people. As we continue with this idea, consider striking a balance between privacy and sharing. How can keeping a personal haven improve your relationships and sense of value? 8. Never stop learning and developing. We are walking along a route full with growth chances every day. However, it's simple to find ourselves going in circles and becoming mired in a rut. You've undoubtedly experienced the desire to advance and learn something new, yet you seem to be hampered by an imperceptible barrier. It seems like standing on the brink of a huge, uncharted forest and being afraid to walk into the unknown. The conflict we encounter is between the security of the known and the unpredictability of change. Humans tend to favor what they know, yet this frequently means that we don't grow as much as we could. Fear of not being good enough or of failing can paralyze us and prevent us from engaging in activities that offer opportunities for personal development and enrichment. The quotation from Seneca that sheds light on our conflict is, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." It reminds us that the thing standing in the way of our progress is not the difficulty of learning new things or developing new abilities, but rather our reluctance to accept the challenge. By embracing an attitude of constant learning and development, we may overcome these obstacles, improving our lives and becoming more valuable to both ourselves and other people. So how can we encourage this ongoing development in our day-to-day activities? It all begins with accepting the unknown and approaching new situations with interest as opposed to fear. If we're willing, every day can teach us something new. Think back to the areas of your life where you've been reluctant to change and devise a plan of action to push yourself in those areas. 9. Keep things mysterious. We come to a potent but less talked about tactic as we delve into the subtle art of self-valuation, the value of preserving an aura of mystery. Think back to the times you've met someone whose true nature slowly comes to light, not with a smug exhibition, but with a controlled revelation, rather than revealing all of their cards at once. This subtlety exemplifies the allure of the unexplained, evoking respect, interest, and mystery. This tactical reserve is a difficult tango between disclosure and concealment at a time where the desire to share is constant. Here the challenge is knowing how much to reveal and how much to keep to yourself, since, in the voids created, curiosity and respect flourish. Oversharing has the potential to dilute the substance of our experiences, leaving little room for creativity and, unintentionally, leaving little for others to discover. We are encouraged to navigate life with a sense of deliberate restraint by the advice of Balthasar Gracian, a philosopher whose wisdom echoes the Stoic emphasis on discretion. Mix a little mystery with everything, and the very mystery arouses veneration. And when you explain, be not too explicit, just as you do not expose your inmost thoughts in ordinary intercourse. By doing this, we enhance our public image while safeguarding our private sanctuary. While we think about how to use this tactic in our day-to-day activities, let's reflect on the importance of what is invisible. How may withholding some aspects of our lives improve our relationships and increase the respect we receive from others? Accept the art of mystery and observe how others gravitate toward you, curious to learn more about your inner self. Let's continue this interest, not only as a way to wrap up our series, but also as a call to venture into unexplored territory in terms of our own personal development. Which mysteries do you think you should preserve, and how will they affect how the world perceives you? Over the course of this journey, we have examined 9 Stoic techniques that are intended to increase our sense of worth. Each strategy provides a different perspective on our relationships and personal development. The twist is that we may have missed a significant reality in our pursuit of becoming more appreciated by others. Fundamentally, Stoicism asks us to recognize that our inherent worth was always predetermined. It shows us that the search for approval from others frequently reflects our own misunderstandings of what it is to genuinely value oneself. Loyal worth is found in the peaceful confidence that comes from living a life that is loyal to our principles and accepting who we are, not in the opinions of others. We now turn the page to address you. Which concepts have particularly struck a chord with you? Which tactic caused you to reevaluate your value perception? We get strength and inspiration from our common experiences, so please share your thoughts and tales in the comments section below. Recall that the path to realizing our own worth is one we take on a daily basis, one that is paved with possibilities for development and wisdom. Make sure to subscribe and become a member of our community if you're eager to learn more about the wisdom of Stoicism and how it can improve your life. Let's embrace the continuous journey of realizing our own value and finding contentment in the richness of our inner life rather than in praise from others.